Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Bala's podcast. I'm your host, Bala. Thank you guys so much for tuning in from wherever you are in the world, whether in the US or somewhere around the globe. Thank you guys for showing up for yourselves. As always, appreciate you being here with me, taking the time and listening, learning and growing, prospering. I wanted to talk today about a topic that I think everyone can resonate somehow, perhaps. Maybe there's a few of you who don't go through this, which happy for you. It's not financial, it's not about money, not necessarily. It's about heartbreak. And as humans, everybody goes through it. At some point in life, we go through a version of it, and it may be different for everybody. But think about the word heartbreak. Like your heart is actually breaking, right? And there's the emojis that you see the heart splitting in half and all these things. No one can really actually break your heart, but we feel that unfortunate, sad feeling when we basically put ourselves out there, we let our feelings be known, we like somebody and they just can't, they don't reciprocate, they don't feel the same. And everybody goes through this, and it's painful and it sucks. And it's unfortunately part of life. But there's another aspect too that I think is important to touch base on is that we all also have experiences where we date somebody of the opposite gender. And if that one experience is bad, we automatically, or it is on to say it's automatically labeled that all of them are bad. All men are this way. All women are this way. They're all this, they're all that. And it's just simply not true. Because think about it too, depending on what was going on in that relationship, if you're young, there's so much of life that you haven't experienced or gone through. And if it's your first relationship, it's wow. That's just the beginning. You're going to learn so much, and not everything's going to be perfect. And after so many, you learn more and more over time through life and experience. But it's also the same kind of perspective people have when it comes to the wealthy in the world. Oh, one is corrupt, manipulative, or exploiting the system, then they all do it. They're all this way. And it's simply just not true. It is a story or belief that has been created, and all of a sudden we label all of them that way. When it comes to heartbreak and we experience that in relationships, once you label the other gender that way, all of a sudden you think none of them are good, so we will never date, we will never love, we will never trust, we will never open our hearts again because all men are this way, all women are this way. I can promise you it's not. They're not all that way. There's some really good ones out there, but sometimes it takes a little bit of a journey to get to that point. You have to go through the different experiences, the different ones to get to that one. Now, when it comes to heartbreak, it's never a good feeling. You can sit in it for a while and dwell on it. You have to find ways to get out of it, to get back to life, having your hobbies, to redirect your mind and your energy. But I'm sure some of you, many of you, have also experienced it when you have these moments and you start hearing things from other people. And these are things you don't want to hear in the moment because they're not how you feel. For example, how many of you have heard there's plenty of fish in the sea? In fact, I think there's an app called Plenty of Fish in the Sea. You just got to put yourself out there more. What else is there? If it wasn't this one, there's someone better out there for you. All these things to the person don't always make them feel better. It's painful, it's hard to hear, and it's said with good intention. But as humans, we're going through these moments in that moment. We're going through feelings in that moment that are not easy to process. And again, it's part of being human. It's part of the whole love journey or that experience. And with time, with redirecting your energy, with putting more work into yourself, not because you're not worthy or not enough. You are worthy and you are enough as you are. And the right person who's meant for you will find you. And that, I think, sometimes is the hardest thing to come back to. But when we're going through these things, it does take time to heal. You learn and grow through it. And sometimes it may take months or years when you look back and you realize, wow, maybe that relationship didn't happen because it wasn't meant to. That wasn't meant to be my life. But I will encourage that you still just take the shot, take the chance, take the leap. The amount of times I have done that, and I've often had these conversations, and I said, the reason that I've not had any, to say, success in this area of my life is also because I've taken many chances, and none of them have come to fruition. But I've taken the chances. To say have chances been taken on me, no, very few. But that's part of life. That's part of my story, my journey. And for you, it might be the same. But I want you to hold your head up high because I want you to realize and know that while it's painful, while heartbreak is not easy, while rejection is the worst thing you can feel, while you maybe even have an experience where you see the person you're very into doing things in life that you know they deserve better. You don't like seeing them doing the things they're doing because they're better people than that, or making choices that put them in not great scenarios. Or you maybe see them with someone else and that hurts you even more because it makes you question, why not me? And I think that's the core question we always ask ourselves is, why not me? Why not now? What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with you. We just all have our different individual paths on this in this particular area of life that we go through, and we grow through it, and we develop. And through the redirection, through the no's, we also learn more about who we are and what we're looking for. Maybe what you were looking for now is different from what you were looking for 10, 15 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 months ago. And even then, that whole process is you getting to know not just the other person, but you're getting to know who you are in a relationship. You're getting to know who you are when it comes to romance. What is your love language? What things do you value? What things are important to you? How is the communication? And there is also a major difference between having a crush, many crushes, we all have many crushes, things where temporarily, versus actually feeling something very deep inside, a deep connection with someone. Sometimes that's more rare than just, oh, I have a crush on somebody, or being on a dating app and swiping and just looking at profiles all day. But again, heartbreaks are not easy. That feeling is not easy to get over right away. It takes time, and you do get over it in time. You do get over it as you just get back into your rhythm of life, focus on things that are important to you, keep evolving. Time does heal. And again, I'm probably saying things that you have heard a million times, and and you're probably sitting there thinking, God, I'm sick and tired of hearing all this shit. Can anyone else give me a different answer? And that also applies to when it comes to getting dating advice, because everyone has a different way of doing it. So going through 5, 10 different people doesn't always help, because that also racks our brain because we don't know what's the right, to say, approach for us. Our approach may be different from somebody who just wants to go out and have some fun. Maybe your approach is you want something deeper. Maybe it's not. Your heart can never truly be broken, but it can feel like it can be broken. It can feel like it's ripping apart when you have all these feelings towards another human, which is one of the most intimate, powerful, vulnerable feelings we as humans have. To have that and essentially share that and be open and reveal that to somebody, because we don't know if they feel the same. Where there's so much uncertainty there, there's so much guessing there, you just don't know. And our mind sometimes tends to go into the worst possible scenario right away, right? We have a story we tell ourselves. But sometimes in life, I often do this, and I would encourage you, if you want to try this, ask your future self, take the leap or not. The odds are always 50-50, all the time. So don't get annoyed, aggravated, frustrated, angry when you hear a lot of the same phrases you've heard for years, probably. The ones we talked about, the ones with plenty of fish in the sea, good luck, you got this, one day it'll happen, you deserve better, there's more out there, all these things. They're said with good intention. But I can understand why for you it may be hard to hear that, because that's not the thing in the moment that's going to help you process everything, because it also is a very it can sound like a very subtle dismissal of your actual feelings. But the important thing too is, don't rely on others to acknowledge that. As long as you acknowledge your own feelings, as long as you know what you're feeling, and take the time for yourself, be gentle with yourself to know that, hey, I may be going through this now, but know, and I know for you, that there is someone out there for each and every single one of us. And that person will find you, you will find them. And that's really hard in the moment when you're going through these feelings, this rejection, this no. It's so hard to see that clearly. But just keep moving forward, keep your head up, and give yourself permission to know that you have that one person to look forward to, that there is that light at the end of the tunnel. And remember, one experience does not mean they're all bad. If that's just a story we make up in our heads. There's plenty of good people out there. And they're also searching for you as much as you might be searching for them. So, cheers to love, boys and girls. We'll see you next time.